It was interesting because we started talking in our past conversations about this issue of that we're not really respected for what we really do inside of these organizations. And you lit up. You said, Steve, I just went to this executive master's program. It was one of the number one things we talked about. Tell me what the name of that program was, where you took it, and then let's kind of dive deep into this.
Sure. The program was through Cornell University. It was called the Executive Master of Human Resources Management, and it was a hybrid program, so partially online and partially in person through residential sessions, which was really cool to be on campus. The focus of the program really started with a foundation of business fundamentals, which surprised me. The first 4 classes we took were not HR classes. They were business courses around financial analysis, understanding your customer, what the different customer segments are, what your value proposition of your business is. And those 4 courses really were the core of the program and helping us understand that to be a true HR strategic partner, you first need to understand the business. And I think one of the things that it taught me was that there's this misconception in HR when we're being given a problem that we need to come up with an HR solution right away. But one of the things that this program really taught me was to stop, ask questions of the leadership to better understand how does this align with the business goals, not only because it's helpful for us as HR leaders, but because sometimes when a solution is presented to us, it's not always actually the best solution. So as an HR leader, being able to understand what is this solution, why are we making the solution, and help kind of back out a little bit so that we can make sure it's the right solution for the problem that we're trying to solve, and really adding value as an HR leader first through those conversations, helping guide the thinking if needed or changing the thinking if needed. And then from there, once you understand the foundations of the business and the problem, then bringing in the HR solutions from the people standpoint, but definitely not starting there. So, one of our professors, Chris Collins, who I loved, who was my advisor, and he would give us these case studies of organizations that were trying to do big things. And he would say, as HR leaders, what do you do next? And we would start thinking, okay, well, we need a talent plan and we need location for our employees, we need a comp structure. And he would always say, stop, go back, ask the questions first of me as a leader, why we're doing this. Help yourself understand so that we can make sure it's the right direction and the right decision. And then we add the people piece on top of that. So that was really the foundation of the program that helped change the way I think as an HR leader.
So, how did that reformulate your opinion of why, as HR and talent professionals, we don't typically have a seat at the table? We're not seen as a strategic arm of the business. We're looked at as a support function of the business. How did that change the way that you thought about that perception and how we can change it?
So I think historically, as an HR function, we were more focused on administrative functions, payroll, employee files, benefits administration, policies. And over the last couple decades, the people who came before us in HR started to change that narrative, which is awesome for us to continue to ride that wave of adding more strategic value and being better partners. So, as HR leaders, you're not always given a seat at the table. The people that you work with, your leadership maybe, they haven't experienced a strategic HR leader and they don't always understand what that means. So, our CEO, who I love and we've worked together well for the last 4 years, when I joined, I was a team of one and I really had to just keep the lights on, do the payroll, administer the benefits, make a staffing plan. But over time, as I started to invite myself to the table, if I wasn't always invited, and show my value through having those conversations around the strategy and having decent insights and decent perspectives, and then being invited back to the table, it allowed my CEO and our leadership to create a better relationship with HR, to change their experience of HR. And our CEO has said that he hasn't worked with an HR leader that thinks that way. And so he had to learn how we work best together. And now, when something comes up, a business decision, he will call me and he'll say, here's what's going on. Here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? And I feel like a thought partner to him. So I think earning that trust through understanding, going back to the foundations of the program that I mentioned earlier, understanding the foundation of the business. Why are we here? How do we make money? Who are our competitors? What sets us apart? Understanding all of that and having those types of conversations will show that you add more value than just traditional administrative HR. And I think people, at least in my experience, have appreciated a partner. Sometimes it's lonely as a leader and making decisions in a vacuum. And when you come in as a thought partner that is a safe thought partner that they can trust, that's proven themselves, then I think there's an openness to that. So that's been my experience in helping build that relationship and change that narrative at Genea.